What is up, everybody? Dan and the Fireman here. We have a video that is going to be on the interstate, but it comes with two videos. We have one of one rider in the front and then the one rider in the back showing a close call with merging. So this is something that happens quite a bit on the interstate or highways, and we need to know what we need to do. And we need to know what type of patterns and why we should probably relax just a little bit so we don't get into an incident like this. So let's go ahead and jump into it and figure out what happened. Before we jump into it, I would love to thank our sponsor of this video, which is going to be me. So we have a motorcycle giveaway going on right now with a 2019 Honda CBR 300R with ABS. We are picking the winner at the very beginning of October, and we're going to be shipping it out to the winner. So if you want to check it out, link is in the description. And right now, Tier 3 and Tier 4 get a DDFM Crew sticker pack on top of the ebook, on top of the entries. Go ahead and check it out. Links in the description and the first comment. All right, moving forward right here, we have this rider in the back. We're the ones that are going to pass these vehicles, and then we're going to gun it, and then we had to slow down because this vehicle is in front of us, a path of travel violation, and now we have to get into this lane. So how do we prevent something like this from this camera angle? Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll back just a little bit here and figure out why he wanted to switch lanes and why this vehicle did switch lanes in the first place. So really, we don't know exactly why this vehicle wanted to switch lanes. There's an open lane in front of them. Everything's fine, but why are we switching lanes? What's our mindset here? Why do we want to do that? We're already in the fast lane, supposedly, so why are we trying to pass other vehicles? It's because motorcycles are fun to pull, that throttle and do an interstate pull. So that's probably why this rider wanted to do that. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick head check. So that's very good. You can't tell from the camera, but the eyes are probably looking like this, and you can see behind. Did a head check, make sure nobody's in the blind spot, so very good on that. So you're doing some good situational awareness there. But when you accelerate, when you're not looking forward, this is the kind of the problem you have. So we're accelerating, we're going to close that space gap between us and the vehicle in front. And before we know it, we barely now see that there's a blinker here. We were going to shoot for the far right, and then we're going to shoot far left probably. I don't think that they're trying to get off the interstate at this point. So I get the fun of it. We're swerving all the way right to swerve all the way back left. We're having a good time. I get that. But make sure you wear full gear also on top of that, just in case something happens. So we're going to be accelerating, and then boom, we had to apply the brakes. And you're going to see it in the second video of kind of how far the person jumped forward. Okay, so remember, weight transfers to that front tire when you apply the brakes. Thankfully, I believe ABS kicked in on this one because there's some jumpiness. So there was a lot of grabbing of that front brake. So thankfully ABS made it to where he wasn't going to dump the bike. But this is extremely close to this vehicle in front. But this is all you have to do. We don't have to stop. Okay, we just have to slow down so that we don't run into something and then maneuver ourselves out of the way. So very good job on this part where you're slowing down, and then swerving, realizing you were not going to slow down enough, or you were in a bad spot if this Cadillac decided to apply the brakes and brake check you when you're right here. Okay, so very good job on applying the brakes, even though it seemed like you activated ABS, but you know what? If you activated ABS, that was your safety net, and to me, it prevented a crash, so I don't even care. So here is what I really like, is that he applied the brakes, and then he's going to swerve left, okay? So realizing your total stopping distance or what you need to do, your line of sight is bad, and now we can continue on with our day. So he did a good job on that one. So let's go ahead and take a look at the other footage and actually see the body movements and see everything what this motorcycle rider is doing. All right, so this is the camera view from the person up front, and then there's the rider that is going to be the one applying the brakes. Remember the Smart Rider principles. The A portion is acquiring personal protective equipment and utilizing it. That is your safety net, just in case everything else fails. Hopefully that is going to prevent any life-altering or life-ending injuries. But we're not doing that right here. We're just wearing a helmet and gloves, which is, the typical, I do have a beginner list of gear in the description. Check it out. You can totally kit out a full set of gear for about $700, and that includes everything, okay? So just check it out, piecemeal it as you go. But anyways, we're moving forward right here, and you see the movement of the body, okay? So this is when we perceive what's happening, and then we're going to go ahead and react, and then this is the moment we apply some brake pressure, okay? So you see that tail light right there. So you see how the bike is pretty much level, a little bit on the front, a little bit of the weight's on the front already, but we're pretty much level. The moment we apply brakes, you get a lot of weight on that front tire, okay? And you see that right there. Okay, so a lot of weight on that front tire. So now we have a higher contact patch. Now we have a lot more traction if you did it progressively. ABS seems like it's about to kick in, and it really pushes him forward, okay? So this is where you get most of your braking power. And without ABS or by slamming the brakes way too hard, you have a greater chance of that front tire just losing traction because there's a lot of weight on it, but not a lot of contact until you get a more and more and more. If you just go from 0 to 100, could easily dump. Okay, so he's gonna brake, and realize, okay, this is not good. So I'm gonna go ahead and swerve to the left and get going. So that right there is exactly what happened. It's really cool to see two angles of this, and it's really important that we practice our progressive brake pressure. We practice our mindset to where we're just kind of relaxed and just kind of waiting, observing for a safe moment to do some of these things. And if you ever get that feel of, I'm just gonna do it, I'm gonna swing across a couple lanes and swing back, realize that's not the safest thing ever. Motorcyclists tend to crash into things compared to things crashing into us. So that, I think, is part of the problem, is the mindset. But did a good job on the braking, did a good job on the swerving, wear more gear just in case something happens. And you're letting us now use this footage to teach and mentor others. So this is great for the smart rider. Anyways, with that said, hope you guys ride safe, be safe, practice all these things, and I'll see you around.